subscribe to our channel to keep up with all the latest from Simpin After Dark and everything else at Wild 7 Studios. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Simpin After Dark. I am so excited. We got a juicy, fun-ass episode today.
Yes.
I got a special guest. Ooh, listen to that sultry-ass voice. Please introduce yourself, girl.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Soulfully_Val, also known as Val. I'm a singer, podcaster, motivational speaker. You already know the vibes. I've been following Simpin After Dark for like a year, so I'm so excited.
Yes, it's been a minute. You have your own podcast too, right?
Yes. It's been going on for about a year, going on 2. And
I've been Reflections with Val?
Yes, Reflections. We like to talk on music, how it influences us and how it helps us get out of dark times, trauma, all that good jazz.
Yes, so we're on the same vibe. I fuck with it. It's been a long time coming, so it's gonna be good. We've been having some drinks. We having some tequila as always, some Trulies. We got the incense here. Shout out to Monster and Ghost for the little incensed vibes we got going on.
Hey.
It's a vibe. It's going to be a good one. Today we're talking about some fun stuff. I teased it a couple episodes ago maybe. Talking about moving in with your significant other and kind of things you don't really think about. You know, things that people didn't realize that they should have discussed with their partners before they made the move.
Ooh.
I think people will be able to relate to this. I asked the question today on my Instagram stories. I was like, yo, guys, like, what are some things people don't think about, you know? And
Absolutely.
A lot of people were like, yes, like, I need this episode. Like, I'm moving in with someone soon. Please share the responses. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to share all those. We got a song. It's a little unrelated. I know, Val, you said you had some songs that related to the topic.
Yes, I did have a song that was related to the topic. It's one song that came out years ago. It's an R&B joint, old school but a goodie. And I know a lot of you guys are familiar with Neo.
Yes.
And of course, Neo, when he came out with When You're Mad, baby, don't, you know, that whole thing.
Okay, sing it. Because I don't got a clip, so.
Right. So this song that I wanted to share is called Mad. And I basically wanted to bring it up to you guys because when we're in relationships, and especially when we're living with someone, man, we're with them every single day. You know, like we don't even get a break. So sometimes when we're mad at each other, we can go to sleep mad at each other.
Ooh.
And that's not really healthy. And that's what this song talks about. Like Neo talks about how I don't want to go to bed mad at you. And you know damn well you don't want to go mad. You don't want to go to bed mad at me. So instead of us having this bad energy when we're living together, let's just not be mad at each other. Let's figure this shit out. And let's like come together to an agreement or a 1-1-1. And I feel like every single relationship that has lived in anything with any other partner in an apartment has dealt with that issue. Like, oh, I'm mad at you, but I know I'm going to have to see you right after work.
Right. I feel like that's something you very quickly realize you have to figure out as soon as you move in with someone. I personally have never lived with a significant other, but I can imagine because like for me, like now or in the past, like if it's like we're fighting, I'm like, all right, bye. Like I'll fucking talk to you later. Don't got to deal with them until like I've cooled off. But like I can't even imagine what it would be like to like have to still be in their presence, especially if you're sharing a bedroom, because I've been very open about saying that for me, if I was financially able to, I would like to have 2 bedrooms and have my own bedroom if I lived with someone.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. So real quick, let's like back up. Have you lived with a significant other before?
I have. I lived with someone for 2-3 years.
Okay, how was that?
Very, very challenging on my own individual character because I'm trying to adapt and get to know someone else's habits and character. So I think that's the main issue when we do move in with each other because we always just known us as this lovey-dovey, I see you when I see you, you see me when I see you. But when you're living together, you start noticing like, oh, you leave the blinds up every single time you wake up, and I need my blinds down to go to sleep.
All the dumb shit you don't really fucking think about.
Right. Like, oh,
ooh, that's gotta be fucking hard, honestly. Like, there's like so many that honestly, one of the things that pops up a lot when I was asking on Instagram was like the whole personal space issue. So yeah, because like you can't get away. You can't get away. Like, you're mad. You can't like really have your own space. You're like, I want to go to my room. That's both your room. Like, what are you both gonna freaking go to your room and like be pissed off and cool off, or like what? Like, nah.
to be honest, when I lived with my situation, we had a 2-bedroom, and our second bedroom was like our like chill, like we'll have friends over and they'll sleep over.
Guest
you're
bedroom
mad.
type thing.
Yeah, it was like, you're mad. You'll sleep in the guest bedroom. It's
That's
fine.
nice though. Do you feel like that was helpful, having extra bedroom?
It was definitely helpful. It's what I think is more challenging when you live with someone is trying to understand your partner, because every partner is different. And so when you live with them and you try to understand that this ticks them off, the towel being on the floor ticks them off, you just have to compromise with that. Like,
Can't
listen,
be stubborn.
right?
Like, it's just like, all right, if this is gonna start a fight, like, let me just fucking do it.
Right, let me just fucking do it. Or
As petty as it is, like, let me just do it.
and see how he likes it.
Gotta pick your battles, honestly, because like if that's gonna be an ongoing thing, like being petty or like upset about like this shit, that shit, that's not healthy either. So
Right.
I don't know.
And also, like, when you guys have friends that you guys don't agree with, like,
Ooh,
that's another topic.
That's something else that came up on all the things. Oh hell yeah, it's a lot. And yeah, so there was a lot of people that reached out and were like, yes, like I've been waiting on this one, like please, like I'm moving in soon, like I need to know. So I'm excited to get into all of these. But as always on Simpin After Dark, you know, I always bring a song and I want to talk about it. Today it's a little bit unrelated, but it's a little pressing matter because I want to fucking talk about it.
Yes.
Willow
Talk
Smith.
about it.
Willow coming through with the fucking rock vibes, like them emo vibes. I am stoked. She came out with the song Transparent Soul. She has Travis Barker on the drums. It's so fucking good. We were talking about it earlier. We were listening and we're just like mad Paramore vibes.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good. I love that emo shit. I know on Simpin we usually talk R&B, but I just had to do it.
Yeah, because you know what? She brought us back to that 2000s punk rock feel
Yes.
that we needed to be reminded of, that it's not a dead genre. So even though it's not R&B, I agree. Like with Ashley, like this is important and pivotal because she's bringing
Yes.
something new to the table. It's not Willow R&B. It's not Willow sticking to her neo soul. This is
Like her indie shit.
Right.
It's like something new. She's in her new lane. And it's fucking hers on her own. I literally don't know anybody else that's like doing this shit right now.
Absolutely
and
agree
it's
with
really
Ashley.
exciting. It's really exciting. She's fucking killing it. And like the fact that she got Travis Barker on the drums is just like, that was a very conscious move. Like, it's honestly mad Blink 182 vibes.
Yeah, it is actually.
Something like that, Miss You, like all that shit. It's real good. Super emo. We love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and play a clip of that before we get into it. Okay, like tell me you weren't fucking vibing to that shit.
Hell yeah, I was.
That was so good. Like, yo, I'm so excited. We were also just talking about how Mother's Day, how she had got her moms back together. I think apparently Jada had a band. I don't remember the name. I forgot the name of the song, but the shit's like super like Evanescence vibes. And she performed like for her mom with her old band, and it was so good. Like that shit will like get you emotional. Just how Jada was like getting all into it, rocking out, and just so proud. Somebody was like, "Damn! Like imagine seeing something you created like re-perform something else that you created."
Absolutely.
Like, oh my god, that's mad. Like, make me cry vibes.
Right, that's so mother and daughter goals. Like, you have no idea. I think it's pretty dope that she brought Jada's band. She didn't care what
Right.
genre they played. She said, "We're gonna play my genre," and that's that.
We're doing this. Yeah, like it's so fucking cute. And like I feel like she just found her sound. Like it seems like she's kind of been exploring, because if you kind of listen to all her music, it's all kind of not all over the place, but all a little different. You know, you can tell when some artists are kind of still finding their sound, and I feel like that's kind of been Willow for a minute.
Yes.
But like this suits her
You're absolutely right.
very well.
Absolutely right. I feel like it was kind of like her dad was managing her at first in the first 2 years. So she never really had a say into what she wanted in her artistry.
Yeah.
So as she figured that out, she was like, you need to stop, Dad. This isn't all me. And this is literally all her right now.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Like now that you like brought up, was her dad, you know, was he managing her like during like the whole whip my hair thing? That makes sense.
He was absolutely managing her, and she didn't know the magnitude of work that was going to come after Whip My Hair. She thought she was just going to stop
the way she
there.
started with a very pop song too, where I don't think she understood, and especially if her dad was managing her, the amount of attention she was going to get for it. Like on that scale, a pop song being Will Smith's daughter.
Yeah, it was a lot for her at that age. And she even voiced that to her father. But her father was trying to make her already into an artist at a very young age. And she felt that was unfair in her artistry growth process. Because she was just like, I never even got to know like what I really truly want to express, because you just gave me a handbook and I should just go by that handbook. And I did for the most part. But then, as you stated, as she kept going into the music industry, she found her own voice, and she was able to stand up and be able to stand up to her father and be like, no, if we're going to do this sound, this is how I see it. And this is what we're witnessing here. This song right here is her truly expressing what she wanted to, as Ashley said. Like, she was probably unable to express what genre, what art, what vision she pictured in her head. But you can see it just exuding out of her in this video, really.
And it's been so cool just watching her explore all this, honestly, because she, even like on her Instagram, she's always posting clips of her like playing the guitar, like rocking out, singing. Her voice is amazing, but just seeing her like grow since like Whip My Fucking Hair to now, it's been really fucking dope. Like, I feel like we are blessed to be witnessing this shit, because she is like a freaking icon in the making. Super cool. I guess we can kind of get into some of these lyrics. We don't have to get into all of it. I just want to kind of dive in because this song is fucking dope. She's very fucking emo. So verse 1, I don't fucking know if it's a lie or it's a fact. All your little fake friends will sell your secrets for some cash. Smile in my face and put your cig out on my back. If you ever see me, just get to running like the Flash. So she's just speaking her truth. Like, I can't even imagine as a celebrity over here hitting the vape.
Yes.
What is that?
This one is passion fruit strawberry.
Oh.
Right. So I was like, let me try it out.
Is that a sativa?
No, it's actually not. It's just a regular, like, nicotine vape.
Oh, it's nicotine? Oh, okay. I recently quit, like, nicotine. Once I did microdosing shrooms.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you're not the only one to tell me that.
Really? Yeah. Dude, I was like, is this a thing? Because the same thing happened with Alexa. Yeah. Like, I did it, like, once. And, like, instantly, I was just like, I don't want this anymore. Like, what the hell? Like, I used to, like, every time I'd be drinking, I'd be like, let me get a cigarette or, like, whatever. But it's crazy. But
after that shit, you were like, fuck nicotine.
It's a weird. I even tried again because I was like, it just was like something to do, like a instinctual thing. Like, let me hit something while I'm drinking or while I'm doing this or that. And then it just went away. I was sad. I hit a cigarette and I was like, that was not good.
Right. But good for you for not even going back to it. Like,
I tried,
right there,
and I couldn't.
The deadline right there. But
it was weird.
These lyrics definitely, I go right on with you. Like, she's definitely expressing what she's been through with this music industry.
Like, all your little fake friends will sell your secrets. That kind of that reminds me of, like, the whole Miley Cyrus thing when, like, her friends, like, put a video out, or probably got cash for a video of her hitting the bong somewhere. Ooh. Or like smoking weed. You remember that?
Yeah, I did remember that. And that's so sad.
Dude.
Like, what these celebrities go
at that young age
to, like,
like, you can't even make it to adulthood before, like, realizing how much of a snake people could be for some money.
For just your image and your
name.
name.
Once you're in the spotlight like that. That's so sad.
That must be so horrible. And I truly relate with this. Even if we're at the low bar, we were even just talking about it, we still deal with that crap. So, yes, good that you wrote it in a song because I relate to that.
Yeah, same here. I've mentioned it before. Like, no matter what level you're at, like, people can still try to fucking use you. Like, yeah, so just be careful. Yes.
Heard it here. Simpin
Heard it here. Pre-chorus, I know a boy just like you. He's a snake just like you. Such a fake just like you. But I can see the truth. Chorus, transparent soul. I can see right through just so you know. So that's the premise of the song, basically. Seeing through these fucking bullshit fake ass snakes. So y'all be careful out there. People will use you. We are in LA. By the way, welcome to LA, girl.
Thank you, because I'm a Jersey girl. Just came, landed. What's up?
It just drove for like 75 hours.
Literally, and I made it. Thank you for having me on. I've been following Simpin After Dark for like literally since they started, and I literally am a big fan.
Honored. I'm so honored to have you here. It's been a long time coming. So yeah, welcome to California. Welcome to LA. And I hope you are loving it so far.
Yes, loving the vibes. Great energy. We drank. We're lit. We're nice.
We here with all the Nightshade girls, and we are having a good one. We all mesh well.
Yes,
it's great. Verse 2, she says, I don't fucking know if it's a paradise or it's a trap. Yeah, they're treating me like royalty, but it's kissing ass. Is it kissing ass? Ooh. Yeah, I can feel that. Because it's very much like is it too good to be true?
And that's kind of like how the relationships start too. Like, we're in this honeymoon stage and we like know everything good about each other. And then
oh my God.
We get past the veil, honey.
Yes, which it definitely ties into the whole moving in together thing. Because like at first it's probably like playing house. It's cute. It's fun. But then reality kicks in.
And then you see them for who they truly are.
Yes. How long were you with your significant other before you moved in?
I was with him for literally only 4 months.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Him and I known each other for 5 years. He was my manager.
Oh.
And I was his employee.
Oh. Okay.
So I knew him for like 4 years and knew how he was already. Him and I were 15 years apart when we started dating.
Oh, damn. What the hell?
Yeah, it was like a super shock to us because we like on our second date were like, oh, you have to be 25. No. And I was like, no, I'm 21.
Oh, my God.
And he was like, what? Wait a minute. You're 21? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, I'm 35. And I'm like, oh, shit. I thought you were 25. You know? It was one of those moments, and we were like, fuck it. YOLO.
Wait, you thought he was 25? Oh, my God. I'm dead.
Because he looks so young.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I can never tell how old, like, people are. I'm like,
He had, like, a young spirit. Like, it's hard to tell, you know? And it was great vibes. And then once we moved in together, it was this, like, I had to accommodate with his schedule, and he had to accommodate with my schedule. When he started working, it was a different time that I did, so I would make sure that I would make him breakfast as a good wifey as I was.
Oh, are you, like, a wifey? Are you on that wifey tip? Like, you kind of do all that?
I kind of do.
Okay.
He would do the same too. I'm not going to hold you. So it would like compensate. If he didn't, it would be an issue. But yeah, he would make sure that I would make sure his breakfast and coffee was made before he went to work.
Okay.
When he came out of work, he already had dinner made. Like,
that's cute.
He was set for sure. But
when we like a good balance.
Right. But when it wasn't that, you know, like you said, you live with them and you have to kind of like have these boundaries. Like, okay, right now we're having a disagreement. And it's okay for us to have this space. So I totally agree with the whole 2-bedroom situation because that is needed as to opposed to just 1 bedroom and moving in together.
I don't think enough people talk about that or even consider it. Right. I mean, of course, it's hard being in LA, especially. Like, shit's expensive. So it's like people can barely afford 1 bedroom out here. But, like, if you can, I think 2-bedroom is, like, the way to go. Because, like, not just because you're married now means you don't need, like, personal space or, like, me time. That shit doesn't go out the window as soon as you move in with someone.
It doesn't.
I don't know. Working out the schedules, at least for that, or, like, talking it out beforehand, I think is smart.
But you're so right. You mentioned that, and that is a very important, pivotal point right there, is that when we get into a relationship, just in general, as women, as nurturing women as we are, we get to just disregard our emotion and just make it all about our partner sometimes. And that gets heightened when we live with them.
Damn.
Like, we can disregard sometimes our whole emotion and how we feel about a certain particular situation just because we want to accommodate for the partner we're living with.
That's scary.
And women out here, I'm going to be real with you. Before the man that you moved in with, you were your own person. Don't accommodate for his needs unless he's accommodating for your needs. And that's just where I'm at when you guys live together, period. If he's asking for something, make sure that he's doing what you're asking him as well to do. Because that's the whole thing about the relationship. You compromise, you guys communicate, there's trust and honesty. If that's not in the whole, like, we're living in together and we're having this foundation, then there's going to be some friction. Because now I'm trying to figure out why you told me you were going to be home at 9, but you came in at 1 a.m.
Oh, hell nah.
You feel me? Like, that's just a miscommunication right there.
Nah.
Whereas for if you were out with your boys, like you told me you were going to come in at 10 and you were like, oh, babe, you're letting me know every hour, like, oh, it's going to delay. I'm still hanging out. If you were updating your girl, she wouldn't be mad by the time you got home.
But if you're just going to, like, go ghost and then just show up late as fuck, it's going to be a fucking problem.
Absolutely. And that's why I can see that whole, like, I'm not ready to move in with a man situation, because how will we handle that as women? Like, when we're living with the person, like you said, you were going to be home at 10 and now it's 1.
Yeah. I think sometimes couples will think like moving in together will fix their problems, because it's like, well, we'll be together all the time. Like, we'll be able to just like always be on the same page, blah, blah, blah. For me, like, I'm not moving in with no one until like we're solid. Like, I'm not going to use moving in as a way to, like, fix all the problems. Same way I'm not going to fucking have a baby with you to fix all the problems. Like, let's not do that either.
Preach. Because some of us think that just having a kid with someone is going to solve your problems. Honey.
I can't believe that, like, people still try to do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's been years and generations of people pulling that move, and it's clearly never worked.
Doesn't.
Let's move on. Let's be smarter.
Yeah,
ladies,
my ex-best friend is like that, actually. She's just been so stuck on her baby daddy, and it's like, bitch, you don't need the baby daddy.
It's drama. It's too much.
You don't.
Oh, I feel so bad. Like, her people, like, ugh.
They're just putting themselves through that kind of, like, you think you can change a man. I think that's what the issue is. And when we come to a realization, like, we can't change him.
No.
Like, he is this person, face value. He showed me this from the moment I knew him. Yeah. We cannot put these false expectations on a good father or a good man, on a person who's never even showed us that to begin with.
For real. Like, they're not going to change. And I don't think, like, putting the title of baby daddy on someone is going to make them act different or treat you different. Because at the end of the day, that's it. Like, they're your child's father. That doesn't mean that they owe you anything relationship-wise other than the relationship they have with their child, and that doesn't have to include you all the time. Like, yeah, you might be in contact with them more because, you know, the baby situation doesn't mean they're going to be better to you, or you're going to talk more, or the relationship is going to be mended.
And the thing that gets me, like, irks me is when these women don't get the treatment that they thought they would have after the baby's born, and then they take the whole, like, privilege of the dad meeting the baby because they have the right. Like, that's just so screwed to me.
Dude, have you seen Insecure?
Oh my God, yeah.
Fucking, what's her name? Condola?
Yeah.
Bitch.
Condola.
Spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen, I'm sorry.
Spoiler alert. Okay. Like, skip forward like a couple minutes, because literally Insecure, like, Issa and her man get back together towards like the last season that is out right now. And he was recently dating another bitch. And then, okay.
So fucked. What
this bitch is like, I'm pregnant. Like, right when Issa and him are like getting back together and like happy and everything's coming back into place, and they're thinking about moving out of state for like, he got a new job or some shit, I think. And this bitch is like, you don't have to be in the baby's life. I just want to let you know. Like, fuck you, bitch. You are being so manipulative right now. Like, if he's not down to be in the baby's life, what, he's going to look like a deadbeat?
Right.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that is a manipulative line.
You better go get an abortion right now, you fucking hoe. Or don't tell him.
Right. To try to, like...
If you're just keeping it because you want to keep it, then just keep it. But you don't got to fucking tell him. Like, that's so fucking manipulative. Like, let's not do that, ladies.
Yes, let's be more mature.
Come on.
For real. Like,
Come on.
We don't have to have a kid with someone to have them know our worth or value. Yeah. How about you know it your damn self before the guy even gave it to you?
Period.
Like,
I'm tired.
I'm tired of it.
So fucking tired.
This petty baby mama drama situation.
Yeah, like that was like that ending for like that season on Insecure like pissed me off. I was so mad. I can't Condola. I can't wait until the fucking new season. I need to know what happens. Fuck that bitch.
Fuck her.
Yeah, so we can be done with this song because we got a lot to get into.
Yes, I want the tea
basically,
and all of
go
it.
listen to it. Go check out that video where she performed Jada's song to her. It's really cute. You'll cry.
Literally took me back to 2000s when I listened to that whole like punk rock 2000s. I needed that reminder that it's still around. So please take a listen.
That's like when I knew like I'm a simp for life, y'all. I am a simp. All right. So I asked on Instagram, I was just like, all right, what are things that people don't really think about when you move in together with a significant other? Somebody brought up the 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom situation. So we kind of talked about that. And then we had people talk about, I had a couple people talk about the temperature for the house. That was something important for me too. I replied to myself in case nobody else did because I wanted to bring this up. Yes. Like the AC, the fan on in the room or not. What, like, okay, do you like to be cold at night or like warm?
I like to be nice, like a nice chill. Like, it can't be too cold and it can't be too hot. It has to be like rainforest vibes.
Okay, rainforest. Musty?
Maybe a little bit more airy, but you know what I mean? Like, it needs to remind me like I'm in a forest, you know?
Okay.
Like,
regular forest. Rainforest, I'm thinking like sticky.
Ooh, musty a little bit. Maybe that's after we have had our fun. But yeah. If we haven't had our fun, it should be nice and chill. Like,
okay.
Nice breeze.
Yeah, I like blasting the AC. I need the fan on fucking high, like shaking the roof. Like I'm thinking it's going to fall on me in my sleep. Like I want to be cold. But not cold. Like I need my blankets on me, but I need like my head peeking out to be cold.
Right?
Like
I'm
nice
with you.
Balance.
The nice balance. Like I'm snuggled in. Yes. I'm warm, but my head feels cool.
It's the best just like feeling of security. And like I know people are like against all that. So I think that is honestly a very underrated, important thing that you need to discuss before you move in with someone. Because someone's going to have to compromise. And honestly, if you compromise in the middle, you're both not going to be happy.
Oh, 100% true. Because then that person's going to complain about, oh, you're raising the light bill or the electricity bill because you have this thing on all the time.
It's still not going to be cold enough. It's still not going to be hot enough. So no one's happy. So like someone, in order for someone to be happy, someone else is going to fucking get the shit end of the stick.
Ooh, that's a good point.
I think that's something that needs to be discussed like day one.
Period.
Relationship over if it's not my way.
Also, like the bad habits we bring with like ourselves living in a space is something you should be telling your partner of. Like, I know my issue with my partner was I loved my windows closed. For some reason, he had to have the windows up every single like place in our apartment. Like he just loved picking out the window and just viewing the view because we had a park right in front of us.
Like the blinds or like the window?
The blinds and the windows. And I'm like, bro, like, can we just find a happy medium here?
Yeah. I could understand for like a little bit, get that fresh air going through.
Right.
But like all day.
Right. I like my privacy sometimes. I don't like the sun beaming through the window.
Yeah, honestly, like I like the blinds closed. I hate like if people are on a walk in front of my house and they can see inside. No. I feel seen.
I feel violated.
Yeah. What if I want to be naked? No.
Right. And that was like our thing. It's like he used to always get annoyed because I used to always put the blinds down and he used to put the blinds up. And I'm like, bro, can we just find a happy medium here? Like, can you just put the
Ooh.
blind up in the window in
That
the
can
living
get
room?
petty because it's like I'm just gonna keep closing them, and then he's gonna keep opening them. That's gonna turn into something.
Right.
So leads into the next thing:
Yes.
cleanliness,
Mm.
which seems kind of like an obvious one, but I want to say I had roommates one time. It was girls and one guy. When we were all discussing, because we're all organized, we're like, let's like start like a schedule for cleaning and chores and like things like that. Tell me why the only guy was like, nah, like just be a good person. Like if you are walking by and there's a dirty dish, just clean it or just put your dishes away. Like we don't need a schedule. We're all adults. Like like nah, like just be a good person. Just be a good person. And we're like, okay, naive as fuck. 6 months later, he don't do shit around the fucking house.
That's so annoying.
Never again. You better set that fucking schedule before you move in with someone. I don't care if it's your fucking man. I don't give a fuck who it is.
Right. You better step in place to his house too, because not for nothing, my man lived by himself already before him and I moved in. So that gave me like
that's different too.
Yeah.
It's like they have their way and you kind of have to accommodate versus like
Right.
let's figure it out.
Right, because he already had his way of living and his lifestyle, and I already knew he was cleanliness. He was clean, so I didn't have to deal with that.
That's
Thank
good because then you could
God.
see it first.
Right, I saw his place. It was always clean, and then I came in, and him and I had a system. Like we never argued about any dishes or anything, because him and I already knew we were both very cleanliness. We would literally love to do that together. So when you have a partner that you don't have to deal that with, it's such a huge. I'm agree with Ash. It's a huge stress relief.
Yeah.
Because that's not something you guys have to argue about. However, I did hear other relationships where like, oh my God, my man is a slob and I always have to pick up after him and like I feel like a maid. And that's so not cool.
Yes, and I've had this discussion with like my mom because like I come from a Mexican household where like it's very like
Machismo.
yeah,
I know
or
this.
it's like the man brings home the bread. But thing is, my mom works also full time. But she still has to come home and do everything because that's what he was used to. And she got him used to that at a very early stage where it's kind of like too fucking late now.
That's so hard.
It sucks. It fucking sucks. And like what she tells me is like you just can't get him used to it early on because it's kind of too late if you just let it. There's no fixing it. Like it's just going to be a constant argument if you keep bringing it up because they're not used to it. It's been years now. You have to fucking settle that from the beginning. So like I said, set a fucking schedule. I don't care if you have to get a whiteboard. Don't let them fucking gaslight you into like, no, like obviously I know how to be clean because maybe they don't. Okay.
I also heard other scenarios too where it's other way around and the guy does everything and the girl doesn't do shit.
Good.
She only
I'm
is
just kidding.
a mother of a child or she's a very good mother to her children. But I'm doing the laundry. I'm cleaning her house. I'm doing everything. I'm even doing the lawn and all this and all that. And it's like, oh, when you have a woman who's nurturing and who's there as a mother but isn't there everywhere else, like, how do you even combat that too? Like,
yeah, it's like you got to find a balance at the end of the day because, like, there's, like, the whole issue of, like, if the woman's not working, then, like, she's taking care of the child, keeping the home clean, blah, blah, blah. But it's a balance. Okay, because how do you feel about, like, the whole paying 50-50 for bills?
I feel like that's equal. I feel like that's reasonable because we won't
so?
ever have an argument on anything. Like,
so what if, like, the dude's, like, not picking up his slack around the house, though?
so then that is a way to bring up something like, wait a minute, we're not in an equal place. Yeah, we're in an equal place on paying the metric and getting to our number a month, but I need more help when it comes down to cleanliness on the house. So yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that. There has to be a balance. But what happens to the female that like demands that but doesn't even offer that to the table? Which I've also seen in a relationship when they're living together. It's like, I need you to pick up more shit, and it's like, bitch, you don't even clean the house, you don't do nothing, you just take care of the kids. And that's your labor. You don't even work. But with your mom, I can totally understand because she's working. She's also cleanliness and keeping up with the house. So there needs to be a compromise there.
Yeah, definitely.
Your dad needs
Because
to
it's like
come
one
in.
thing, like if you're like taking care of the kids and not working. And it's like, okay, you got time to clean the house too.
Correct.
But like, if you're both working and you're taking care of the kids, then like that man better be picking up fucking slack elsewhere.
Something.
Because like men like need to realize like you would be paying somebody for childcare, for cleaning services, for like a teacher, nanny, all that if you didn't have your wife home with the kids.
Yeah, they need to know that a lot more. I think men that are married and with their partners don't really know that. Whereas for fathers who have been single from the grip, know and understand and are grateful for that.
Yeah, they're the only ones that kind of really get it.
Right.
Like, other than that, I think women just naturally start doing all these things and men don't realize. And it's like, it would be a fucking wake up call if their fucking baby mama were to go fucking missing one day.
Yeah.
All the fucking slack they would have to pick up and all the money they would have to pay for the shit that they can't do because they're working.
All the more to go back into when men get comfortable, this is the place that they stay in. It's like, I'm comfortable in the fact that I get to come home after work and a plate is made for me and the whole thing is clean and I don't got to do shit.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that we need to break with men, is to not have them get so comfortable, especially if we're living together.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. We still got to make them be on their toes some way, somehow, but without being a vindictive bitch about it.
Yeah, of course. Definitely. Yeah. So like for me, like for sure, like I think once you have kids, because that's a transition. Like say you move in with someone, you don't have kids, and then you get pregnant and you're not going to be working anymore. That means dude has to take over bills. And I think some dudes still think, like, even once the woman goes back to work, even if it's part-time, like, you need to figure out a different arrangement because, like, 50-50 isn't going to work. Like, she's taking care of the kids, period. So, like, figure something out because, I don't know, I think women are too nurturing and they do too much to be paying 50-50.
So you think we should pay, like, 20% or lower?
As long as it's less than 50-50. Because I think at the end of the day, women, like, we're more nurturing. We're the homemakers. We cook more, unless like you are in like a fucking blessed relationship from God, like,
which I have seen, and that's one thing that I have to really commend here is that your surroundings and your group and how they say with success, what your circle is really does define you. Same thing when it comes down to your personal life. If all of your friends that you befriend are in toxic relationships, and you're the only healthy one.
Ooh.
That's not a good mix to be around because all your stories are never going to align.
You're going to be confused.
Yeah, like you never experience this toxicity, but all you hear from your friends is toxicity. And then your friend always, when you tell your stories, is reminded of how toxic her relationship is.
Like maybe you could like normalize it for you.
Right.
Like, oh.
So it's just like, to me, it's just having that happy balance and just knowing like, listen, I can't be around friends that have verbally abusive partners or physically abusive, like it doesn't matter, or even like very like old school
emotionally, like all that.
Yeah, like discredit how you feel as a woman. Like, no, we're not.
Or like you have no say, bitch. I pay the rent around here. That's toxic. Ow. Like no, Ow. Like there's a way for like there to be balance in the bills and like the home, like maintaining and all that, and for respect to still be there. And it shouldn't be fucking difficult, but it still seems to be a fucking issue. Like I can't, like it just, I don't know, maybe that's just me speaking for personal experience with like my parents growing up. Like not to say that like my dad, like of course like he would take care of the family and he does like all like the man work, all the man work.
Yeah, right.
He provides. Yes.
Quote unquote.
But like still it's just like it's very innocent. It's nothing like horrible, but he just like will not put his dishes in the dishwasher. Like, and he thinks because he mows the lawn and does projects from here to there, like that he doesn't have to do anything else. And we're just like, Dad, the dishwasher's empty. And he's like, okay. And he just leaves it in the sink. And that little shit adds up and it'll piss you off. Like,
That's the machismo in all of our like
yeah.
Hispanic culture, is that is the conception with us, is we were brought up that way. It's like, okay, we're women, we're here to nurture and to be there for our husband and to take care of everything in the house. That's what we're supposed to do, and the man is supposed to bring home the money, and because he brings home the money, we need to cater to him and make sure that his plate is made by the time he gets home, blase blase. So I agree, because they be getting too comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Too comfortable. Every race, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Colombian, Mexican, we're all there.
Very
like,
similar on that.
yes, it's like, and it's instilled in our women to women. We're taught since like 9 that we have to be like that with our men.
Bro, like, it's crazy. Like, it's like Father's Day, and it's like me, my mom, my sister making dinner for dad. Mother's Day, me, my mom, my sister making dinner for mom, and dad's just chilling. Yeah. No matter what it is, birthdays, holidays, like,
that's right there.
He'll just sit there and show up when dinner's ready. Like, no shade to my father. He's a provider and he's great. But, like, what the fuck? Like, I would never let that happen in my household. And, like, that's why I'm so adamant on, like, putting your fucking foot down from the beginning when it comes to that. Because once you get them used to it, it's not even like they're doing it out of, like, malicious intent. It's just, like, natural to them, and it's all they know. And, like, it's hard to break a habit.
Yeah, it is hard to break a habit. And it's all that we were brought up on, literally, as men to men and women to women. This is what we were told. So this is the norm. Like, this is what you're supposed to do as a woman.
Yeah.
That's like the most irritating line I've heard. Really.
It's so fucking annoying. Like, are you serious?
We're in 2021. Like, that needs to change. We're clearly now in a place where we're all equal.
That's not what we're doing anymore. That's not what we're doing anymore. All right. So somebody else brought up, what side of the bed you sleep on?
I sleep on the bedside that has the wall, and if there's no wall, I'll sleep on the left side.
So, like, the opposite of where the door is, right? Which is, I think that's, like, the natural, like, the way for, like, if a killer breaks in, so that the guy can be closer to the killer, right?
Just not us, you know?
I ain't gonna be first. I could see that, but dude, one time I was having a discussion with my friends.
Oh, no, I just have a question. Cause, like, April here. I have a question because, like,
Audience member.
We've talked about this topic before, and we've sort of like had this discussion on like whether women or men sleep on the left or right side of the bed, and we could never like get it right because like your idea of what the left side of the bed is different from what my idea. So when you say left side of the bed, are you saying facing up or?
That's what for me, I'm talking facing the ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was having this discussion with my friends, and they were thinking facing the bed, and we were, like, doing this all wrong. And I was like, no, I'm thinking laying on the bed. Like.
Laying on the bed, we're facing the ceiling. Which side do you want to sleep on?
Yeah, so I'm glad we clarified that, because people might hear this whole conversation differently, because this is apparently confusing. Like, this was a whole thing with my friends.
Right.
No, so, yeah, facing the ceiling. I sleep in the middle because I'm lonely.
I sleep, yeah. Aww.
No, honestly, I kind of flip-flop, but I'm thinking now, like, when I would stay at my boyfriend's house before, I would sleep, towards the wall.
Yeah, it's always the wall. I just feel secured in that wall area.
Yeah, away from the door. Even when he would come to my place, I'd be away from the door. Like, now, like, in my own room, I'm just, like, in the middle because I'm like, let me get all this space.
Another reason to be annoyed when you're living with someone is that you don't want to cuddle every night. You don't want to coddle each other every night.
Oh, shit. I feel like that's, like, all I would want. But I don't live with no one, so I don't know.
Like,
might be fun at first.
There's certain nights where I'm just like, all right, I don't want your arm right now on me. I just want to sleep because I had a long day. I've been stressed. I don't want it on me. I just want to sleep, you know? And he gets that way too sometimes. So we have to understand that boundary. Is
like not taking it personal.
Right, not taking it personal, which is really hard for women to do, especially if we want to be coddled sometimes and then they deny it at that night. It's like, listen, sometimes we have our moments and we're like riled up in our emotions at work. And sometimes men and women bring that to their home with them. So when at night, when they don't want to cuddle, we have to be understanding, like, no, he's not cheating. No, she's not cheating. It's like, she just doesn't feel like cuddling. Because if she was, or he was cheating, he wouldn't be in your bed right now sleeping
That's so
with
true.
you.
There's always like those memes where it's like the guy and the girl, and like the girl's like trying to like cuddle up on the guy, and he's just kind of looking away, and the girl's like, he's probably thinking about another bitch right now, and he's just like, it's like a thought bubble, and he's like thinking about work or about like the dumbest shit, like some episode of some show he just watched, or like a random question about like a car. And it's just like, we tend to take things personally when we're seeking some kind of form of intimacy, when really it's just like, you got to think like you're not used to like being with someone like that all the time. So like personal space is going to be an issue, and you're going to have to learn to deal with that. And like my butt hurt ass, I can't imagine. Like, I'd be dramatic as fuck. Like
what?
You don't fucking love me no more. Like, what? You fucked somebody else? You got no more nut for me?
Right. That's exactly how I be taking it. Like, wait a minute, what?
I'll be sad.
But I understood it over a time. Like, he would be like, oh, babe, I had a stressful 12 hours of work. I just want to sleep. I don't even want to. And I would just hear him, because he's right. There were times where I would be like, oh, you know, he would tell me he's going out with his coworkers, and he'll tell me that time he'll come back, and I'll be like, oh, you had fun with the girls or whatever. And he's like, what do you mean? If there were girls that I was having fun with at a bar with my coworkers, you'd think I wouldn't come to this house at the time that I told you I was going to come? Like, I was like, oh, you right. Are there any other bobby pins in this house? No. Are there any other? All right, so then why are you mad? Like, yo, he used to dead ass put me in my place sometimes. And I used to be like, oh, my God.
You need that sometimes. I love a man that can put me in my place.
Right. Like, reminds you who you have.
You, baby. I love that shit. Like,
I ain't mad.
We need that sometimes. So then, yeah, somebody else said the same thing. Cleaning schedule. And then they said toilet cover up or down. Down, period. What you mean? That looks disgusting up. I don't give a fuck.
It's always going to be down. If you're living with a woman, it has to be down, period.
Period. Like, I've had men try to be like, well, we need it up, and it's 50. Fuck you. Shut up. It looks nasty up. What do you mean? Like, first of all, the whole thing should be down, so it shouldn't even be a discussion. Right. You want to make it even? Let's put it all the way down. That way we both have to make an effort. If that's your issue, is making a little effort. So, moving on, because that's pretty clear. And then somebody said, how much alone time each person needs. That's something a few people brought up.
I feel like that depends on the individual, because I'm a person who battled, since I was little, abandonment issues. Like, yeah, I was raised by my mother mainly, but my mother kind of gave up at a very young age with me. So I had to be independent at a very young age. So if you have abandonment issues, boundaries are going to be scary for you, especially when you live with someone.
Would that be like anxious attachment style?
Right? Separation anxiety, where we feel like, OMG, they're not with us right now. They're elsewhere.
Or like, he looked at me weird. Right. Like, oh my God, he's going to break up with me.
Or, oh my God, he's not with me right now. He's at some other event. What goes to show that he might not meet someone there and then leave me.
Ew, you're reading me.
Just like, that's separation anxiety, though, and like, to be honest, it's very fearful for people who battle abandonment.
It's real. Like, the feelings are real.
Yeah,
it's very real. So like, it's hard because like it feels toxic probably being on the other end. But like, if you're like dismissive of it, the other person can just like,
why don't you love me?
You need reassurance, and it's probably really annoying because that type of person needs. I need a lot of constant reassurance, like, and that's something I'm aware of, and I'm working on it. But it takes a lot. Like, it's not something you could just, oh, I'm aware, it's fixed.
Yes, 100% agree with that. It takes like roadblocks.
Yeah, I was just like talking to my friend because like, I posted something on Simpin, and she was like, I'm reading this book about like that attachment style, anxious attachment style. I forgot what it was called, but she was like, I'll let you have it when I'm done. I was like, please.
Yeah,
I need it.
It's so real. Like, I remember our first 5 months of me living with him, I would always feel like that boundary of him having those 3 hours to himself was like, oh my God, he's going to leave me and never come back.
He hates me.
Yeah. And like, I never knew how like pressuring that was on him, you know? Like, I don't mean to like get this like podcast all groomy, but he passed away when I was 23. Yeah, him and I lived together, and that's how our story kind of ended.
While you were living together?
Yeah, he kind of like passed away. Yeah, he passed away while we were living together, and I had to move everything out. It was a whole synopsis.
Sorry, that's crazy.
Thank you for that. It literally molded me into this valuable, strong person that I am today. So I can't even hold it, but that relationship taught me so much about myself. I learned about my separation anxiety issues, living with him, and always not like understanding that space for him was just space for him that he needed to clear and not think of me.
And it's normal. Like, we all need that.
Like, as a man,
doesn't
not for
take
nothing,
away from your relationship.
100%. And when a man lives with a woman, he instantly becomes this protector and provider for the whole household. He doesn't just think of himself. And that's one thing that I had to understand living with a partner, is that he has this pressure, the man, to always provide for the house and also make sure that I'm okay and I'm safe. So that was his stress. It was like on top of work, on top of this, he just didn't want me to worry about him neither. So he also kept certain things from me when it came down to work, because he didn't want me to stress on the fact that he was stressing. But men, please don't do that when you're living with someone.
Yeah.
Like, please, like, be open with your girl. Like, I understand that you want to protect her and you want to be this provider, and you always want her.
That's another machismo thing, is they feel like they can't share their weaknesses with you, or like emotional things that they may be going through, because you may perceive them as like, oh, they can't handle it. It's like, no, like, we're not there anymore. Like, women are understanding as fuck. We're nurturing as fuck. And like, especially if you're with like a woke ass woman who's like self-aware and all about like emotional and like all this therapeutic shit and like spirituality and self-awareness, like, don't like share your fucking emotions. She's there for you. Don't like think you need to be in this dark place without her because she's gonna think of you differently. Like, it takes strength and bravery to like open up. So like, please open up, men. Like, when we talk about equality and feminism, it's not about like women being better. It's about like men being able to be this way so that we can all like progress in society, because men holding in their feelings leads to a lot of shitty things.
Yeah, to be honest, I agree with Ash on that. It's like, men need to be more open to their emotions. Whatever you guys are battling, whatever the stress at work combined with, I want to provide for you because I have this stress on top of me and I care for you. It is very assuring for us women to know that. Because you're just opening up your emotion in that hour of us living together just opens up another side of like, OMG, you're being so open to me, so vulnerable to open this side to me. And that just gives us a step further into our relationship.
Empowering.
It is.
Yeah.
And I don't think men, as Ash said, realize how strong that is in the relationship, especially if you guys are living together.
Yeah, like how helpful.
Absolutely. Like, listen, I lash out every night because I really want you to understand how much I care for you, and it just really bothers me. And also with the stress at work, we need to understand where these outbursts and triggers come from. We are not mind readers, okay?
Yes, exactly. We're not mind readers. Like, you need to communicate. Like, if we're going to help each other, there needs to be communication.
Yeah.
And honestly, just being mutually understanding and communicative is beautiful. So,
right, because women, we tell you how our days are. We tell you who stresses out at work, who bothered us. Like,
and like, for me, honestly, I can relate to like being scared of opening up. But at the end of the day, like, I'm very understanding of how helpful it could be. So like, it's hard for me if like my partner's not doing that. But, like, I want it to be there. Like, that's my goal.
That's beautiful.
But it takes, like, two people wanting to do that. If it's two people that are resisting, it can be hard, you know? But knowing that you're both are, like, you're going to be there and support of each other no matter what, like, that's a good thing. And, like, if you're both aware of that, like, you're going to take it a notch up in communication. And that's, if you're living together, you fucking need that shit.
You do. 100%. Gem right there.
Sex schedules and expectations.
That's the passion. Oh, that's so important.
Ooh, that is really important. Because, like, I think when you're moving in, you're thinking, like, oh, we're going to fuck all night, every night, baby. Right?
Literally, yeah. Like, that's what I think.
And, like, maybe, I don't know, people have different sex drives, but it's just something that needs to be communicated before.
I think so, too. Because what happened, that sucks. I'm going to be real with you. That really does. All right. What about the women that never even got to experiment the bedroom and they just moved in and married him and then realized,
like virgins?
Well, kind of like virgins, but they chose to be celibate the whole time or something like that.
Oh, wait, like not having sex until you move in together? Oh, I advise against that. I highly advise against that.
I've heard stories, and it's not fun.
No, I feel so bad. I worked with a girl at a restaurant one time. I'm still friends with her on Instagram. I don't know if she follows me on here. I hope not. But like, she was like a little virgin. She was so innocent. She was so cute. And she was like with her high school boyfriend. They got married. I feel like they waited until marriage to fuck, probably. And like, they're still together. And this was honestly like 10 years ago. They seem happy. It's great. But it's like, that was still only 10 years ago, and they're barely like 30 maybe because they were so young. Like, you still got the rest of your motherfucking life.
Yeah, I'm happy I got to experiment. I'm not going to hold you.
Like, get that shit out.
Like,
go have sex with other people.
Powwow.
Yes, please.
We so support it.
We support. Like,
experiment, have your fun before you settle down and live with someone, please.
Yeah, because you end up realizing, like, you may be a really, like, horny individual, but maybe you're not like as horny as you think. Maybe like, I don't know, because like there's horny, there's sex drive, there's like experimental,
right?
Like you could be on different levels. You may like to have a lot of sex, but maybe you just like don't like to put in a lot of work. You just want to lay there. Okay, that's fine. Maybe some men appreciate that because a lot of men just like to use women's bodies as a masturbation tool.
Correct.
That's fine if you enjoy that. There's experimental types, but they don't like to have sex all the time. Your sex drive is not that high. So
you got to know who your partner is, period.
Yeah, and then there's people that like to fuck all the time, but they're okay. We'll let this ambulance go by. Shout out downtown LA.
Yeah, for real.
Shout out Wild 7 Studios for hosting Simpin After Dark every week out here in downtown LA. But yeah, it's just levels. Like, sex drive is very important. I talked about this on the last episode.
Yes,
and if you're not on the same page, it'll be an issue.
It would.
Because I've seen more and more people talking about how, like, they're down for sex that lasts, like, 5 minutes. Are you, like, a long sex type person?
Yeah. I cannot do it for 5 minutes.
Is it more about the foreplay, though? Or is, like, the whole...
All right, that's a good question. I think period, foreplay is very important for a female. If you don't get your foreplay on and popping, then she's not going to be in heat and ready, okay?
Honestly, I think that's like the most important part for women.
For real, like you got to get us high and you got to get us amped to get there. Because if we're not amped, we're just going to be like, no, we're not going to do it. But I just feel like you got to match your level. You got to know what kind. A lot of women don't know how to get pleased. That's another thing. We don't know what our orgasm is or our button is.
Yes.
And we're still trying to figure it out. 80% of women still don't know their own orgasm.
That's where masturbation comes in.
Right. Like, ladies, please masturbate and get to know your clitoral area.
Your body. Bro, I just seen a TikTok. This lady, like, brought out this thing, and it was like, a lot of people don't know what this is. I instantly, because I know all this shit, it's like the entire clit. It's not just the little pointy. It's not just this. It's like this. It's like an octopus. So the inside. Your clit is like a whole thing on the inside. And everyone in the comments was like, I thought that was a head massager. I was fucking cracking up. Like,
I just feel
you're
like,
right. It kind of looks like that.
Yeah, it does.
But, and then she's explaining how, like, these two glands, like, swell up. And it's just like, bro, if you would just take some time, masturbate, and, like, don't just be quick to just get a nut. Like, take your time. Get to know the feelings. What parts of your vagina are getting stimulated when you're, like, doing this. Like, get to know it,
ladies.
Figure it out.
I didn't know about this whole issue about women not knowing what our orgasm is until I saw this Netflix show called Explained.
Yes.
And they were literally talking about women orgasms.
It's a whole episode. It's a great documentary series.
Literally.
They have a whole series just about sex stuff. And there's one just about the female orgasm.
Literally the women orgasm and how we struggle and how they said
informative.
That women don't know what kind of orgasm they are, whether it's clitoral or penetrational.
Yes.
We need to know, bitches.
I grew up thinking I was weird that I could never orgasm from, like, just dick. And then I was like, okay, that's normal. I think most women can only orgasm from just clitoral stimulation.
Correct.
But knowing that is so important because you feel like you're broken if you're just trying to get jackhammered and fucking come. Like, that's normal. You're probably not going to unless you're stimulated first, and then you could try.
Also, porn is a false, like, narrative. Like,
oh, my God.
Like, women moaning and making it seem like, oh, my God, he's penetrating, orgasming me. No, like, don't fall into that conception.
Don't use porn as, like, a teacher.
Do not. Like, yes, use it as, like, a way to, like, stimulate or whatever, but
yeah,
the way that she gets off, just know she's faking it, and it's not 100% true.
Porn is a movie. Like, movies aren't real. Movies are exaggerated. There's lighting. There's camera crews. There's angles and cuts and all this shit. Like, that's not real sex.
It's not.
Don't use that as a guide. Just know your own body.
Because I personally didn't know that I was more of clitoral until, like, I was 25 when I had a man teach me, like, this is what it is, bitch.
Damn, a man taught you?
Like, a man, like, yeah, like, not for nothing. Like, he literally, like, sat me down and did his thing, and I just...
Okay, shit.
I thought I
showed you a new world.
Yeah, like, I thought I had an orgasm because of the porn examples and because of my past examples and how the previous men did their thing, and I thought this was an orgasm until that age. Till that age, 25. That's crazy, right? To have a man
I had
show me.
A friend who has had, like, some kids and had never discovered a clit until after a few kids.
Oh, my goodness. No way. That's sad.
I was like, bitch, you have kids? You don't even know what your clit is?
That one deserves an award right there.
If I ever popped out some kids, no shade to you, bestie. I'm just kidding.
No shade.
That's crazy.
Cheers to you, mama.
Cheers to you. I'm glad you discovered it, and I hope you're getting yours now before you ever pop out another one.
For real, because later, come on.
Sex schedules, expectations, and sex drive. You need to figure out, because, like, if you're not seeing each other that often, and you're like, you have sex every time you see each other, but say it's once a week, and then you move in.
Yeah.
And you're not having sex every day, and one of you is like, well, I liked once a week, and the other one's like, well, I thought we were gonna move in and have sex every day. You need to figure that out first.
Yes, and even talking about it, too, just turns it off, too, sometimes. Yeah. Like, can we just make it spontaneous? Can you just come in the apartment from work, and I just fucking take you on the wall and just fuck the shit out of you?
Like, when do we
make it that way? Why do we make it like, oh, let's schedule it? Like,
yeah, and, like, sometimes it comes to that, but sometimes I think as long as, like, somebody starts it, the other person's going to be down. And if the other person's turning you down, have a conversation and figure out what the problem is. Like, don't let it become an issue.
Right.
That's a little heartbreaking if I tried to, like, start something with my man and then he was like, not in the mood. I'd be like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, right.
Fuck you.
That's how people feel like when they're into bondage and they want to introduce that to their partner.
Ooh.
Like, they can feel that way. They can feel like, oh, what if I bring this interest of what I want into the bedroom and they're not going to be okay with it, like bondage or something like 50 Shades of Grey, if we want to go to that magnitude. I haven't had a partner that way, but my friends have had it and they've lived with them and they've had to, like, accommodate for that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you never know. I guess that happens. Like, what if you discover a new side of your, like, sexual needs and they're not down? That could be a problem. Or you could, like, develop maybe.
What if your partner had a foot fetish?
I mean, I don't mind my toes getting sucked on.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
It feels kind of nice.
But it's not like it's not like you specifically have to suck on their toes, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, like if he wanted me to suck his toes?
Like if you had a foot fetish, you know, like I can understand if a man had a foot fetish.
Oh, like if he wanted me to suck his toes?
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what you want, baby.
Hey, she would it. She would it.
As long as your feet are clean, as long as whatever that you want me to do something to is clean.
So hold on. So would
eating
his ass be?
I've ate some ass before.
Really?
Yo.
Okay, sis.
I'm down.
All right. I respect it.
I just went for it.
He didn't even ask for it.
No.
You just went for it.
I just did it, honestly.
How does it feel? Like,
I am very much of like a pleaser, so he looked like he was liking it, so I was just doing it, and I was like, you like that?
Hey, I'm with it.
Yeah, so, you know, as long as it's clean, I'm down. That's my motto.
That's
Okay.
every guy's motto too before they go down there. Okay.
Right?
Make sure your shit
Yes.
is clean and not smelling like a
Exactly.
fish. Right. You don't want that.
Literally.
No crabs.
Period. No. Period. No poo.
No poo. Please clean it. Nah.
So somebody said, yes, I've been waiting for this one. Me and my man are talking about moving in together. So let's get into it. Somebody said, visitors, chores, sleep schedules, alone time. Visitors.
Ooh.
I think this is a big one that I've been wanting to talk about.
Visitors.
Because what if you're like, I want my friends over all the time, and your partner is like not about them? Ooh, that's going to be a problem.
It is. It does cause a little friction. It's like, why do you have to have the friend that I don't like over?
Ooh.
Because your partner is going to disagree with some of your friends.
Yeah, but I guess then it comes down to like
How long had that friend been your friend?
that, and like, do they have a valid reason to dislike them? Like, did they do something to you? Did they make me disrespect you? Or do you just not like them because they're loud or because they're not your personality type?
That's a good question.
You know?
I think it's a mix of both.
Yeah.
I think it's a mix of, I have different friends, you have different friends. Let's just not mix our friends.
Yeah, because like I could understand it. Like if I was living with my man and he's having his friends over every night, like I'd be cool with it once in a while. But if it's like every night and it's interfering with like our alone time and our like let's have sex time, I would start getting annoyed. As long as it's not interfering with that, I don't think I'd have a problem. Cause I'm an introvert, but like if it's like my people's friends, like I'm
you
down.
would be extroverted.
Yeah, and I'll probably just sit there and like have drinks and like I just want to be included. Like as long as like you're not like leaving me alone in the room,
Yeah.
you know. Like if you're like not giving a fuck and I'm by myself in the room, not even inviting me, because like if I'm not invited, I'm not going. So if you don't explicitly
So
do,
you're
even
gonna
if it's
be-
my house, like if you're not like, babe, come hang out, I'm
You're
staying
gonna
in the
be
room.
I literally can picture her in the bedroom just like, meh, I'm not going to go outside.
Fuck you. He didn't invite me. I'm so petty like that. Like I can admit that. I can admit that.
Right.
Like I hate like pushing it. Like if you don't invite me, I'm not coming. So you better be like, if you're having your friends over all fucking week, if you don't invite me, I'm gonna take the hint that you don't want me there. And if you want personal space with your friends, then communicate that, and I can respect that. But if you're not making it clear, I'm just gonna feel left out, you know?
I agree with that. To be honest, my partner, when I was living with him, he did not like my friends. And I, for the life of me, could not understand it. I said,
Did he not have like a legitimate reason?
He did. He did. And he told me this verbatim, and I quote, he said, these friends are only with you for the good times. They're not really your real friends. And I would just always like bypass it. And I'd be like, he's just talking out of his ass. You know what I mean? And he was right. He was, because when he was not around and he left, none of the friends that I consider friends in that group were there for me. They were there for me in the funeral. I'm going to respect that. But when the shit got harder after, they couldn't be there for me. You know, it was too much because this person suffered.
They're there for the fun times, not the real times.
Exactly. This person suffered from bipolar disorder, and just like it was too much emotion. And it just clarified what he said to me months ago. Like, they really were there for the good times. Wow. So there's times where our partners and the women with their men and men with their women, we can get protective. Like when we see predators that are your friends, we can be like, listen, you may not see this, but I see this, and I want you to see this.
You have like outside perspective because you're not in it, so you have like more of like a pulled back. Like, wait, you don't see this because I have a real clear view from out here.
Yeah. And so like I'm gonna say, if you can tell when your partner's coming out of malice and jealousy because you are closer with your best friend,
or like manipulation,
or instead of you being closer with them when they're living with you, and you can tell when it's a genuine response, like, nah, I'm caring for you. This is before you and I were even in a relationship. This is me as your best friend telling you, like, this friend is not really for you. So I think when you really know how to differentiate the two with your partner coming with you with that energy, you guys will be fine. Just try to have a happy medium, you know?
That's an important one. For sure.
Yes.
I get that. Yeah, I feel like if your partner has something to say about your friends, like hear them out, and just like, as long as you can distinguish if they're being like shady or like not shady, but like controlling or manipulative, I guess. Like if they're
tell.
coming from like a real place. Like, listen to them, because if they're not like that and they have something to say, like, there's a reason.
And it's a valid reason.
Yeah. But if they're just like, I don't like her.
For no reason.
Fuck that bitch. She a hoe. Okay, what's that got to do with you? As long as she's not trying to make your girlfriend a hoe, why the fuck do you care?
Right.
Let them hang out. Fuck you. Like, you're being controlling now. So, whatever. But that is very important. And, like, I think that's something you do need to talk about. Because, like, maybe one of you, like, you're trying to move in to have your own alone time all the time. And the other one's like, yes, I finally get to have my own place. And my friends are going to come over and we're going to party all the time. You're not on the same page.
Word.
You need to figure that out.
I was that person too. Like, oh, I have a man. Now my man can be friends with my friends. And he was just like, no, I'm okay with you having your friends and me having my friends. And that was something for me to, like, try to adapt and be okay with.
I would want them, like, all to be friends together.
Right.
I mean, as long as, like, they're cordial, I'd be like, all right. As long as we're cordial. But, like,
right.
if it's weird, I feel like it would be weird.
It would be weird.
You know? I don't know. That's there's so many things to consider, man.
Yeah. Just think about that.
Yes. Somebody said daily routines. Who's going to be in charge of the cleaning, laundry, and what bills are going half? Yeah, so basically same thing, chores. We talked about bills. Something that needs to be talked about, like, first of all.
To be honest, what I loved about me and him living together is that when we never spent quality time throughout the week because we were always focused on work, we would spend that one day that him and I were off. And then we would make that day our day. So it would help and balance off of the stress and the fuckery that we dealt with throughout the week. So that day that we were off, he would sometimes be like, oh, let's go to a shopping spree. And I'm like, what? Like, oh, that's cute. Like, I feel like that's so needed in a relationship, especially if you're living together. Like, those days where you guys are trying for each other, and you don't even have to, like, do anything. You could just clean together.
Yeah.
Him and I clean together.
Dude, if you love someone, like, doing whatever together is going to hit.
It's just fun. Him and I, one time we tried to make fried chicken together because him and I never made fried
love
chicken.
that. Like, cooking together.
Right. Like, and that was so, like, a way of bonding. Like, no, we didn't need a candlelight dinner and a whole fancy smancy date.
And making bonding is like,
oh, right.
yeah. Okay, so I actually replied to myself in case nobody wrote back about this, and I don't think anyone did. So I wrote scheduling date nights for actual quality time, because I think when you're living together, you confuse quantity for quality. You end up thinking, like, I see you every day. Like, we don't need to schedule, like, special days
And
to
that
hang
hurts
out.
me.
Yeah,
when you just said
like,
that, it just hurted me. Like,
right? Like, we need to make sure, like, not just because we're living together means we're not going on dates no more, or, like, just because we're sitting next to each other watching TV or working next to each other doing our own thing means that's quality time. That's quality time. No, that's quantity time.
yeah, that's quantity time.
It just sounds weird. It's not quality time, you know? Like, we need to schedule, even if it's, like, once a month, like, let's go have a picnic. Let's go get dinner. Let's make dinner here.
Yeah, don't make this
whatever it is.
a
Let's
regular
get takeout
day.
and watch a movie. Whatever. But that's different from, like, I had a friend, like, when she was living in her man, and, like, he would think that, like, oh, like, we just would watch the show at night and, like, eat together, and that's it. And she's like, huh? No. Like, that's just gonna happen by default. We live together. We share a TV. That doesn't mean we're fucking hanging out. That's not quality time. That's just us being next to each other because we're roommates.
100%
fuck
agree
you
with
mean?
that. Make it fun. Don't be boring and comfortable.
And that's the thing where, like, you can schedule it in. Even if it sounds lame, it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think scheduling dates is important and keeps the passion and excitement alive in your relationship. If you don't have something to look forward to, then it's like, it's going to be the same regular day.
Part.
Right.
Looking forward to something and just, like, yeah, like, not letting yourself fall into a fucking routine, you know?
Then, and not even that, but, like, also when we get comfortable, me personally, I start questioning, like, do I love this man?
Yeah, because it gets boring. You're like, honeymoon phase is over. You get into your routine. You're bored. You're like,
like you're like, do I really?
Oh no.
Yeah, and that's the thing that you don't want to do. Like, you don't want to get to that point. Exactly. You want to deviate that point, right?
Stop it before it gets there. Like, you got to keep it alive. Keep that spice alive.
Yes.
Somebody else said, whether or not he's okay with having a Hello Kitty themed kitchen, he better be. I agree. He better be. But also, this brings me to, what about like decorating the bedroom? Is he okay with making it all cute in like a fairy's bedroom?
I feel like a real man would allow his woman to decorate and decor the
Right?
house the way his woman wants.
And I think they
her
would
to.
low key love it.
Yeah, I think that.
Like, I think it's real roomy in here, and I think you secretly love it. You can tell your friends I
With
did
my
it.
floral print or not,
Yeah.
or my fuzz wall or not. Like,
I
you still
think
fuck
you
with
love
it.
it here, so don't front. Just let me fucking do it, okay?
Right.
Like, unless you want to take over and do all the decorating, but I'm gonna need like a file of like slides and to see it first. So like, let me prove it, because if it's ugly and boring, next caller.
Right.
All right.
This ain't no IKEA set, right?
Please, no. Like, we need some spice, a mood, a vibe. Like, I need forests and fairies and sun and plants. Like, I need all that together. Whatever it is, Hello Kitty, let's do it. Somebody said, oh, this one's real good. Do you use snooze your alarm a million times? I can't deal with this. I'm trying to sleep. I do.
Yes,
I
I'm that
snooze my
person.
shit for 2 hours straight.
Snooze, 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 snooze.
It's every 15 minutes for 2 hours. I'm a psychopath.
100% agree with that. I love my sleep. I need to sleep. And when I'm asleep, I'm dead sound asleep. Like, nothing can wake me up. So the alarm will be on snooze and snooze and snooze. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Like, my body wakes up enough to keep hitting snooze, but I don't remember it.
You don't?
No. I just naturally have to set my alarm 2 hours before I have to wake up, because, like, I can't. I think I keep seeing this thing about delayed sleep cycle syndrome or something like that, where it's like people that have a really hard time waking up because, like, your body takes a longer time to fall into REM sleep.
Okay.
So you wake up really fucking tired.
I think I suffer from the same issue. Oh my
I
goodness.
definitely
You and I
have
are
that.
definitely connected. Like,
Yeah, it's hard. And, like, my
episode.
friends don't get it. And they're just like, just wake up early. I'm like, fuck you. I can't. Okay.
yeah, I can't.
can't.
My body just can't.
Like, I've literally been fired from a job because I was late. They can't fire you until you get 3 strikes in the same thing. Okay. I'm traumatized.
Hence and why we don't work for a 9 to 5.
I can't. I'm so traumatized of getting like a 9 to 5 because I feel like I'm gonna fucking be late. I'm traumatized. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
it's
the
not a
same.
nice feeling being fired.
It's not. I agree.
I felt like a failure. Okay.
No, you're not, because you're doing the Simpin after dark.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You are good.
Oh,
She's
okay.
trying. She's here.
I'm
She's
doing
on
my
time.
best. So same thing. Things you can or can't compromise on, which could fall into all these things. Personal space. Kind of talked about all that. Especially days. So days that you could have guests over or family. So that's probably like a good way to compromise on the whole having friends over thing. Like, maybe you have designated days that you're
Okay.
like, okay, this is like our day for visitors. It doesn't mean we have to have visitors, but if it is, it has to be on this day.
And you're okay, and I'm okay, because we both already talked about it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like, this is your day, this is my day kind of thing. Him not changing the toilet paper when it's empty. I fuck
That's
with that.
so petty, though. Like,
It's so petty, but I believe it, because, like, in my household, I be getting mad when people, like, finish the last paper towel and don't replace them. Last toilet paper, don't replace it. Leave a empty box of Ritz in the thing. I'm like, what?
I think it's annoying when you're always the one to constantly refill it.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it there. If you're not, and we're both having a system, cool.
Yeah.
But if
Let's just
I'm
all
always
do our
the one-
part.
do your part.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. So that was a good episode. I think we got lots of good fucking tips for people.
Yes, we did.
I know there was a few people that were looking, so I hope you guys tuned in. There were people that were like looking or like post all the replies. I posted a few, but you know, it got late and I was like, you know what? Tune into the episode if you want to hear the rest. So there was a lots of good information. You had your personal experience. I had my
Yes.
imaginary experience.
It was amazing. Thank you for the great vibes, the good talks. I definitely feel refreshed.
Yes, thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you. Once again, welcome to
Thank you.
Cali. Welcome to Los Angeles.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I feel the love. I love it.
Yeah, we had a good time
Everyone's
today.
so extra like me.
Yes, exactly. Shout out to the Nightshade girls and shout out to Wild 7 Studios and from Wild 7 podcast. We dropped some new episodes, so go check those out. We talk about Debbie and the Devil and all the fun things we're working on. Go follow Nightshade Collective on TikTok and Instagram because we're dealing with some fun new things. If you've followed us for a while, it's some exciting stuff. So go check it out.
In tune. And don't forget to follow Reflections with Val, which is my podcast. Also follow me on Instagram on soulfully_Val. You already know.
Yes, if you enjoy Simpin After Dark, you will definitely enjoy all of Val's shit.
Thank you.
She on that real shit. She loves music. So definitely on the same wavelength. You can follow me at Simpin After Dark on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and you can follow my personal Instagram at Ash_Friday_. End of the season's probably coming up soon. I'm going to Utah with my girls.
Hey,
So,
girls trip.
Yes, we love a girls trip. We love vacation time. So keep an eye out. I'll probably be dropping some merch, maybe some lighters. I think some of you guys probably need refills.
Yes, we do, because I'm waiting for mine personally.
Yes, I'm excited. They're going to be cute. But yeah, stay tuned. Go check out Val.
Thank you.
And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to the Wild 7 Podcast Network. Listen different.